Bro, look.
Doesn't look like I show speed, isn't it? I imagine I show speed's verified. But
I show speed profile.
I feel like he's verified. Is he verified on Instagram? Oh, just want to check it. I feel like this is a publicity thing. I show speed Instagram. Maybe he's not. He is. So I don't see.
Happy birthday.
He's verified on. I don't think that's actually speed. I'm pretty sure he's stupid, but okay.
Bro, March 4th, 9:02 p.m. Happy birthday, bro. Look, we go to his profile. I show speed. On my life, chat. On my life.
Let me see that.
Bro, look, we go to his profile. I show speed.
Is it actually him? Was it before he was verified? Wait.
Yeah. Happy.
Let's see. We have to do our deep investigation work, guys. This is what we're here for. Beep 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 beep. Happy birthday, bro. All right, we hit I show speed. He clicks it. Eventually, it comes up. I'm skeptical. Maybe it is him. Maybe it was him before he was okay. Maybe it was before he was verified. I find it a little hard to believe, but okay.
I show speed. On my life, chat.
Oh, we only got verified at like 4 million? Okay. Shit. I guess it was him. Wow. This guy's famous. I show speed clone. He does look just like him, so.
On my life, chat.
Now, one can't 100% confirm or deny if that DM is real, but it does seem like it is because later on in the stream, White Boy M brought up that he had donated to Speed quite a bit in the past, and from this clip, it sounds like donating to Speed was what probably got him the happy birthday DM from the large streamer.
Bro, I spent so much money on it, bro.
Damn, why would you do that?
I already donated before.
What did you donate?
I got his attention before. He said my name. He texted me on Instagram. Everything.
Oh, and when White Boy M here says he said my name on
How much money did he spend?
stream,
He said my name.
he's referring to this moments from an I Show Speed stream in December 2021 of when he donated to him.
White Boy M donated. Hey Speed Big Fan, this is my last $5. Can you say White Boy M is the best YouTuber in West Virginia?
White Boy is the best YouTuber in West Virginia.
So yeah,
Wow, damn, bro. I show speed probably could have got like $500 to $1,000 out of that shout out. He should have refunded the money and told me he wasn't going to do it, dude. You gotta know your worth, Speed. Come on, bro.
from there, White Boy M just continued to do his streams and went on continuing to sound like Speed, and people started taking clips from those streams and began uploading them to TikTok, kind of making
True.
And these videos just started going viral, with some of them getting millions of likes and many of them getting millions of views across everybody's streaming page. Eventually, you
Crazy.
get on Speed's radar and show up on the streams, and they eventually did.
I had 14 out of 15 bubbles, bro. Are you serious right now, bro? Are you serious, right? What the hell?
White Boy M went on to see this reaction and was pretty happy.
He just said, what the hell, and moved on. That's it. He's just kind of pissed about it. This thing looks like in his face. Maybe I'm wrong.
about it, to say the least.
Bro, are you serious right now, bro?
This is cringe, and I'm here for it, brother.
Speed!
Oh, my fucking God. Dude, I wish this game was ported. Fucking Jesus. Oh, my God, in here.
Are you serious, right?
Why's he gonna fucking scream like that, dude? I got a goddamn headache right now. Are you serious right now, bro? Oh my God.
Abdullah super chatted $6.
Ooh, thank you so much, brother.
Are you serious right now, bro?
That's what I'm fucking saying, dog.
Are you serious right now, bro?
Even though Speed didn't give much consideration in speaking on the topic, that didn't change the fact that White Boy M was hyped up about it. But as more attention came to White Boy M's streams, and so did the hate. Then with this going on, Speed went on to watch another meme/clip of White Boy M on stream, and this time he showed a bit of more
Literally, bro.
This story begins with a piece of trash and ends with sustainable aviation fuel. But this isn't a story about throwing something away.
Bro.
White Boy M then saw
Doesn't sound too disparaging, but
this reaction and then started up a stream where he announced that he was going
it
to
was DMC and he controlled the whole thing.
be dropping a diss track on Speed.
This is the second time that Speed reacted to me, bro. And this is bad, chat. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, bro. This is bad, bro. Like, Speed really don't like me, chat.
a nap or something all night. You ever miss the old school competitions like you had against Woody back in the day?
I will get the
To be honest, Foul Strike, me, Woody, and Kyle didn't really talk. Like, other than PK. Like, there was a time, like, early on, like, we hook out Skype chat, but, like, as years went on, we just kind of just did PK together. Come on, you could at least told me she was in fucking server. I know a lot of people that watch my stream don't really have, like, these kind of builds that Bill might have. Loading a home's expensive, man. Like there's stuff I'm putting off right now, so I don't have money to do it. Like, I need to redo the stuff for my kitchen, I need new countertops, I need to redo the shower, master bedroom. I got an air conditioner that's 20 years old, got a roof that's 20 years old, like everything combined for like 40 grand. Bears needs to be I'd like to put it off so you can get money for it. No, I haven't got the weight loss. It's not pills. It's an injector. Everybody says have tried fasting. Like fasting's easy. When you're my size, you don't just fast. You have an unhealthy relationship with it. It's not like you're 100.
Match point. Red team. Match point. Blue team.
And if the answer was like, I'm just not gonna eat, you know, if I had the willpower, I would have done that years ago. Well, I just get so tired of people going like, oh, you should just go fast. You should go. Dude, I flew to Mexico, had my first surgery ever, and had a man cut my stomach out, and I failed at losing weight loss.
I was ready to make a career move. But honestly, I didn't feel like my resume was where it needed to be.
Play again?
Like, you think I'm just gonna be like, oh, well, I did all that, I'll just stop eating for a while. If it was that easy, I would have done it already. I don't have the willpower.
Secure the area, keep the bomb away.
Yeah, she's supportive. That doesn't mean that. That's like telling a heroin addict, just stop doing drugs. An alcoholic, just stop drinking.
Op 4 has located a bomb and be ready for assault.
What I'm saying is, no matter how much somebody loves you, doesn't mean that you can beat yourself. Come on, dudes. They're all in sight here. Imagine, this DSP got up to 100K on the mobile app? Shit. He could buy two. This man spent $100,000 on a fucking gotcha game, dog. He could have 2 troubles. Look, you could buy a house off of this. I'm sure you can get a house for $100,000 somewhere. Beast Handler, any kind of sugar or fried food should make me sick on the new shot. Mods, you should be banning all this stuff, please.
We got these cats in the back.
Come on! Yeah, people are sitting there shooting the windows. I tell you not to shoot instead of watching the windows when they run out. What, really? The guy laying underneath the console windows, laying down. I asked him about his health decline, and last year he stopped criticizing me, tried telling me to go away from him. Remember, he must go to Kelly's. Whatever, dude.
Special delivery.
Come on, dude. Get the mouse downstairs. Come on.
Gauntlet away.
Come on, dude. Why the fuck would you? Oh! Like I'm thinking Monday, you know.
Hey, yo, that was a sneakness.
A bad energized cat. Good job, flanking. Guy coming to double door main wall. Match being 0-6 like your boy Jay. 3 assists. Get the fucking twist drone off me, please. What? Oh! Fuck it. Yeah, I'm sorry. 0-7, man. Like, I have not had a chance to do anything with this fight. Come on, dude.
What do you think about that? Match point. Blue team.
I didn't think they were over here. They're flipping the wall.
What?
Oh, behind you. Come on, dude. I need help in admin. Come on. Fucking A, man. I know I went at 6, but I planned the bomb twice, and I was a part of two of the. I was a part of both of the attack rounds that won. So suck my dick, Daniel. Thank you.
Choose your character.
Alright, boys, don't worry. I brought him in. Don't worry. I got him. Got him. Don't worry. Relax. Get needed and stuff.
About time. I feel like you throw a lot of shade at me. Because I'm trying to keep us in the win column.
What do you mean I'm throwing shade?
Protect the bomb.
Come on, fuck me, man. Guy coming red drum. Red drum.
Prepare yourself.
It's like I stay in the same elo range. 5, no kill. Fuck, they nitrocelled me.
Op 4 eliminated all friendly.
Alright guys, I'm saying that's it for me. No, that section was called character. I actually get to do it. Let's see
See a path to eliminate. team. Match point. Red team. Victory.
There we go.
I got fucking shit, man. Left, right, and center.
Let's go.
I'm doing bad because I'm falling into rolls normally, and like I'm getting destroyed in these rolls. I didn't take 2 days off. They're coming in maintenance, by the way. I need help here. Come on, fuck.
Jeez, don't come to my spot, dude, if you can't freaking hold it down. Dude, you gotta
Dude, it's so annoying. Like you already have like a shit fucking gun, and you're a 3 armor, and then somebody takes your 1 power point from you. Oh come on, dude! Is nobody helping with this fucking Twitch troll? Root beer might be the only soda that doesn't taste bad.
Yourself.
I think we need another heartbreak. I don't know why we need Grim.
Grim's a good tip.
Dude, Grim is pretty damn good. I put him right above the same. Does he have grenades?
No, he does not. Grim, yeah.
If he picks on grenades, I'll pick a heartbreak.
Grim's really only for like vertical play. He's really good at vertical play. I gotta do it right now because like in another day or so, sugar's gonna make me throw up. I'm about to take medicine. Then if I do sugar or fried foods, it'll make me nauseous. Hey, I'm doing my role, man. Sometimes a winning strategy isn't a fun strategy. My goal was to open the walls and get the bomb plant down. If I have to get to a gunfight, I have to get to a gunfight. If I don't, it's best not to. What is that? No, that's cheese belly button.
Yeah, I literally thought the same. I'm on belly button. Dude, is that in or out?
Man, cheese, you must weigh much my fat out.
Longer than ever.
Wait, so what do you mean by that?
It means he can hide most of his finger into his belly button. So that sweat.
Wait, what?
You ever put your finger in their cheese and scratch the dead skin out?
Get over here.
It's like a pocket. It's like a pocket. You can store stuff in there. Put your pen.
How long is your finger?
I got woman's hands. But they play rainbow.
Why would they have Shelly be? Are we good at Shelly? Big clubhouse.
They need to make like, spicy garlic sauce packs so I can keep it covered in my belly button. Never know when you get a bust.
Really? Is that an extra pocket?
Yeah.
Match point.
Man pocket.
Red team.
See, if you get fat enough, you can like hold a brick under each titty.
Match point. Blue
It's
team.
not about video game honor, it's just about being a good person. Like, all you got is your fucking word. You ruin your word, you ain't got shit. Look at me. Don't be me. Don't lie. Cheat. Steal. Your nose with the grindstone, John the Bills.
You cannot escape.
Oh, he's up top. He jumped in office. Oh, there's a guy behind the bomb.
Defeat.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah, that's why I wanted to go back downstairs. Like, everybody knows how to attack upstairs.
You didn't bet against me.
Continue.
I was castle, man. I had to do rope flow throughs, castle. Like, that's almost on other people.
Okay.
Oh, I just feel injection. I will ride to Valhalla, bright, shiny, and chrome.
Choose your character.
I think that's going to be it, boys. Good games. Hardee's is better than Wendy's, but their service is shit too. Alright, boys. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Thank you, Shively, for the $30. Thank you, Mr. Hutt. Thank you, Mario Luigi. Thank you, Ty, for the...
I did super, not jumping fucking shears. That's it, super. Back attack super. So how'd you win? You stormed out and you mastered driving back in flag and I think about it. Congratulations. Literally every round I was driving back.
Prepare yourself.
Every single fucking game I was driving back to the county. Doesn't. It's trash gameplays. I can't react to it online. You're gonna get away with it. You suck. You're cheaped out when you couldn't win legit. You had to fucking cheap out.
Should have brought a bat fleet on it.
Can't block. I know it's over. I can't block. Super! It's dead.
Nothing will stop me this time.
That's what I did. I didn't break. I'm starting to use now. Wow, that's impressive.
The lasso of truth.
Hope you didn't get me.
Unearned set again. Again. Won't give me my fucking move to win the fight. I have it down. There it is. There's the win. Doesn't come out. This is fucking a joke, man. It really is. It's a joke. I'm supposed to fucking get better at a game where half my inputs don't come out.
Choose your character.
I can't get better. I can't get better if you don't let me do my move. I'm waiting the whole round for these openings. I do the move. Fucking get hit anyway because the game doesn't work.
Prepare yourself.
Slide. Free throw after the slide. Still can't do anything.
I'm gonna beat him to the punch. Ooh, and then punch him.
I just have to do what I'm going to do. I guess. I can do anything with any finding online. You just do it over and over. How do you not see this as a fucking problem? How do you make a game and not realize this is a problem? I still can't do anything. I literally couldn't do anything.
Match point.
At all.
Blue team.
Wild West.
Match point. Red team.
Real dangerous when you want it. That is tremendous. I literally hit her with a super. She just wake up EX.
Victory!
I didn't even input anything.
Yo!
On flight, right?
Rematch. Let's go! Choose your character.
I don't want to play Drive Impact Fighter 6. I want to play a fighting game. This is not a fighting game as is. It's not. This is not a fighting game. This is just, how do you beat Drive Impact over and over endlessly? Because it's such a low meter chart. These fucking people in the game are moronic.
cell.
How is this fighting? I really want to know. The whole game is bullshit. Stop! This is not fun at all. Stop! It's not fun to play. It's not fun to play at all, man. This is not a fine fucking Street Fighter, that's for sure. Not this shit.
Here's something that's never happened before.
Yeah, it means everything. You only have one thing to do to stop it. You don't see it. What a waste of my fucking time. UVL sucks. Why is there a move that means everything except the same move? How the fuck do you not know that stupid fucking idiot to make this fucking game? No one wants to be beaten by one fucking move. Idiots. Fix the fucking move. Beat it with the same move.
Time to get crazy, man.
Give me a fucking ear. You're choosing a fighter. Is spamming the same move over and over. Amazing game thing.
Really, you don't say.
By the way, I'm a retro parasite. I apologize to every parasite. It's like, okay, you learn the game.
Tell how you feel
Because
about each other, but I don't like being
So, there's a game, there's a fighting we've been there, but then every time someone activates drive and back, you're not playing that fighting anymore. You're just playing the drive and back. It's a completely different game. How idiotic is this?
match point. Blue team. Victory!
Here it is. Again, it happened. The lag spikes are only happening when I hit. What the fuck? Seriously. What the fuck? All these hits happen. I'm in the middle of a combo, then it skips frames, so I can't do my combo. And all of a sudden, next thing I know, she's hitting me. Yeah, no, I'm not wasting my time with that fucking connection. Excuse me. What a frustrating mess this game is turning out to be. The longer I play it with this fucking nonsense online. Derek. See you later. They didn't release a character count for the full game, but I guess they kind of did because it leaked. And then after that, then they said, yeah, it's all true, and then they showed a picture of like the whole Dave's fault. So they never officially announced the character count. They got leaked and they just said, yeah, I guess that's true. Thanks, Derek. I appreciate that. I guess I'm just gonna play Kimberly all day. No one else wants to play anyone but Kimberly too. Wow, you really outplayed me. You totally outplayed me. I totally didn't dominate you. It hit me fucking backwards. You saw that, right?
Choose your character.
That was my throw. Doesn't come out. Yeah.
Fine, but don't say I didn't warn you.
There it is. After I just back the flag, you're an amazing player.
Prepare yourself.
Fucking real this game online. It sucks. It's fucking trash.
Bring it on.
to spam and do the same thing over and over and over. I have to do.
Choose your character.
I'm Morty.
Prepare yourself.
You won't be able to tie your own shoes when I'm done with you.
We saved it.
Nice. Fresh. Choose your character. Prepare yourself!
He was part of who he was. I mean, you had to spend a minute with him to know that, you know, he didn't treat people particularly well. You know, so that was, you know, you knew he was this force that's, you know, he sucked up all the energy in the room. He was Harvey Weinstein, and it was Miramax, and that was the thing.
Sweet.
Don't push. We got these cats in the back.
23-year-old woman was asking a very reasonable question about it. This crowd has gathered around us, and it's like, you know, this spirit fight or something. And I just remember how surreal it was. I was thinking to myself, it's Harvey Weinstein really happening in a hip-hop.
Flashes are going on.
It was the New York Daily News.
Because Harvey was used to winning. These type of arguments, he had a bunch of yes men going in. You may be right, but I don't care. This is the way, and he's used to getting his way. I stood fast. There was like a beat of, okay, we're going to leave the scene.
That's an interesting way to control the situation.
For a long time, I'm not at all surprised to see it.
Welcome to and now I'm making a video on this guy because he's currently behind months on this channel. All suspect that. And quite frankly, when we get to the subject of milk of the channel today, Advanced Global, they specialize in Delta 8, CBD, and TH smokes, and they are smooth as a butterbean. They even have biodegradable filters, along with being 100% organic. Nummies. That's right, they.
What is going on with my computer now? Oh my god.
Production team, the owner of a company, a man who's responsible for some very wonderful, incredible films made. And just one of my personal favorites is Good Will Hunting, which is very ironic considering the theme of that film is his involvement of it. And now I'm making a video on this guy because he's currently behind bars, a Hollywood powerhouse, if you will. This is going to be the trend for the next few months on this channel. We're going to be talking and taking a look into some of the biggest Hollywood folks who behind the scenes are a hidden monster, although on the surface level, you would never suspect that.
Blue team!
When we get to the subject of Bill Cosby in a later video, that's going to be a hard video for me to make, considering that I grew up so frantically watching the Bill Cosby show as a kid. These X-Files videos are going to get increasingly darker as the year ends into 2023. So, my suggestion is to grab a thing of popcorn or a beer, because we have a lot of people to discuss in the coming months. But before we tackle this monster, special thanks to the sponsor of the channel today, Advanced Global. They specialize in Delta 8, CBD, and TH smokes, and they are smooth as a butterbean. They even have biodegradable filters, along with being 100% organic. But if smoking is not your type of thing, they also specialize in wonderful, nummy rips. You want to check out. Harvey Weinstein was born March 19th,
Big difference in these pants and like a Dickies or a Carhartt is pocket size.
1952, and co-founded with his brother an entertainment company known as Miramax. In the late 80s and early 90s, they would make some of the most successful, well-known films. Just a few would be The Crying Game, one of my personal favorites, Pulp Fiction, Heavenly Creatures, Flirting with Disaster, Shakespeare in Love. Several of these films even won some awards, which really moved up them in the successful bracket of producers and filmmakers. Now, what a lot of people don't know about Harvey Weinstein is that the actual allegations towards him started all the way back in the 1970s. But it wasn't until October of 2017 where Weinstein was dismissed from his own company and completely, utterly rejected, expelled through the Academy of Motion Pictures, because there was just so much stuff coming forward, and given how much gossip and rumor had been speculated, spread all throughout Hollywood, Harvey Weinstein built his own reputation on really being a bully, somebody who would intimidate, silence, and pay people off for his crimes against them. As of right now, over 80 women have come forward on Harvey Weinstein. We're going to go through some of those today. Before we even get into those testimonies of his behavior and things he would do, which we have video documentation of one very brave individual, then we're going to watch a relatively short interview on Harvey Weinstein where he was asked some questions. And when I watched this interview initially, I was really taken back at how charismatic, especially at the part where he talks about his wife starting a school in India, children's education. And like, when I heard that, my heart just like opened up. You know, he's reaffirming his wife, he's complimenting his wife. All the while, as charismatic as he is, as likable as he looks in this interview, he's a terrible person.
Step it up.
Intentionally, King's Speech and stuff. To me, I'm still there. I felt that way when I
We have ourselves a rabbit haters.
This should provide some cover.
First got to my office, and there was one scene that was just so out of left field. You know, it was a scene where there was a relationship between the two professors. And they said, that was a scene. And I didn't quite understand it. They said, you're the only guy in any studio who actually must have read the thing, because they wrote it to see whether somebody would bring it up. And I was the only one. Serious love at first sight. I don't think you could know it's and certainly when I read this from my mind, probably
victory!
Furthest thing from my mind. I think it moved me emotionally. My wife, Georgina, you know, a lot of her clothing inspiration came from India. When we got married, she said no gifts. You know, I'm going to go to school in India. And me, I have a lot of rich friends, so I was kind of hoping we were going to get gifts. I wanted, you know, that way I could measure them and, you know, say, God, you can whatever. She built a school called the Rose School. So I read that script. It hit me so hard, this movie, that I had to make it. The only regret is that I didn't get the name back. Bob Iger, who is currently runs the place, was very much for us getting the name back. You know, the people who were above him at the time were very much against it. I think they thought they were going to recreate what we did. My mom always wanted it, you know, that, you know, her son's name the company after her. And they can't keep it just to keep the name. It takes its toll on you, the work, and you wish you could be, you know, me in particular, love to be less temperamental. Each year I get less and less, but I started so high. I remember the chipping away at that now. It would be much better to take 2 seconds and just be conscientious and not just be so much in the moment that you have to do that. Well, there was a film I wanted to distribute, you know, that taught me not to be late for screenings. I went to see a movie called Nikita, and Luc Besson's friend, and I was 15 minutes late for the screening. And if you missed the first 15 minutes of that movie, you don't understand that she was a psychopath who, you know, robbed people and killed people, and they were reforming her. Luc thought, you know, well, Miramax, we would take the film, but I didn't get it. It was outrageous how stupid I was. I work in my dream. It's hard to maintain. But, you know, I feel that we've done a lot of, you know, great things. And at the same time, it beats a lot of things. This is a truly fulfilling, you know, thing to do. And I'm very, very lucky.
So I need to ask you guys, what do you think of that interview? At the time that this was filmed, this man was really esteemed in Hollywood as being this major success man who pushed some very popular films and eventually sold his company Miramax to Disney. I would argue that Harvey Weinstein was critical in the spread of the hashtag #MeToo movement. You know, as silly as some hashtags may be, the Me Too movement isn't just about women, it's about men. It's about anybody who experiences injustice or SA, an abuse of power, and speaking up and not being silenced. And it is unfortunate that Harvey Weinstein was the type to silence everybody.
One other question, just because there's been a lot of talk about complicity, right? About people knowing things and not speaking up. And you said yesterday that you had heard rumors about infections. What did you know exactly?
I didn't know anything, but I know that when you talked about Harvey Weinstein in the business, for example, for decades, you knew that he was highly intrusive in the process of making films. His nickname was Harvey Weinstein in the business, for example, for decades. You knew that he was highly intrusive in the process of making films. His nickname was Harvey Scissor.
Did you know exactly?
I didn't know anything, but I know that when you talked about Harvey Weinstein in the business, for example, for decades, you knew that he was highly intrusive in the business. I didn't know anything, but I know that when you talked about Harvey Weinstein in the
business for example.
It's about anybody who experiences injustice or SA, an abuse of power, and speaking up and not being silenced. And it is unfortunate that Harvey Weinstein was the type to silence everybody.
One other question on this, because there's been a lot of talk about a culture of complicity, right? About people knowing things and not speaking up. And you said yesterday that you had heard rumors of actions. What did you know exactly?
I didn't know anything, but I know that when you talked about Harvey Weinstein in the business, for example, for decades, you knew that he was highly intrusive in the process of making films. You know, his nickname was Harvey Scissorhands, and he was very intrusive in the path of the directors who worked for him. Number two, you knew that he was a very intense guy and very bullying guy, and was shouting and screaming at people and exhorting them when he didn't get his way. And last but not least, you heard the rumor that he raped Rose McGowan. You heard that over and over. We've heard that for decades, and nothing was done.
And nobody said anything.
But what happened was that Rose McGowan took a payment of $100,000 and settled the case with him, and it was for Rose McGowan to prosecute that case. I don't think you and I are working at a job, and we vet everybody we work for in terms of not just sexual crimes. Racism. Do I sit there and say to myself, I want to have a forensic psychiatrist and examine the entire board, and I will never take another paycheck again from Warner Brothers until everybody on that board of directors that runs that company has been vetted, that they're not racist, sexist, homophobic, you name it. I need to have a report on them. And you could do the same thing. You could sit there and say, I'm never going to work for public television again until the board of directors that determines who pays yours. You get the idea.
Of course.
And the point is where do you draw that line? I mean, we all go to work and assume we give people the benefit of the doubt. And where this thing with Harvey Weinstein or Rose McGowan came along was, I had no idea until now that she'd settled the case. And many people have asked the question. The New York Times, in fact, printed an article about this. This was online, and I found this very compelling. The New York Times wrote an article that said, the settlement of these cases hurt the cause of exposing bringing us to a place of real change. Women take money and are silenced by that money, even though they took the money and were silenced because they were told beyond the money it was the right thing for them to do. Keep quiet, don't make too many waves, it's going to hurt your career. When they do it, nonetheless, it doesn't set back the cause of change. That's an issue, I think.
I do think that Baldwin makes a phenomenal point here in regards to the vetting process. On every single person that you and I interact with on a day-to-day basis, we don't really know who our coworkers really are. We only see these people maybe in the workplace. We don't really have a super close relationship with them, so we don't really know this person. Now, when all this stuff came out about Harvey Weinstein and more information was known,
women take money and are silenced by that money, even though they took the money and were silenced because they were told beyond the money it was the right thing for them to do. Keep quiet, don't make too many waves, it's going to hurt your career. When they do it, nonetheless, it doesn't set back the cause of change. That's an issue.
I do think that Baldwin makes a phenomenal point here in regards to the vetting process. On every single person that you and I interact with on a day-to-day basis, we don't really know who our coworkers really are. We only see these people maybe in the workplace. We don't really have a super close relationship with them, so we don't really know this person. Now, when all this stuff came out about Harvey Weinstein and more information was revealed to the public, the internet kind of did what it normally does. It starts pointing fingers saying, Brad Pitt, Samuel L. Jackson, Steven Spielberg, John Travolta, or any director or actor who had been involved with a film that had Harvey Weinstein's name attached to it in any capacity. The internet likes to blame people. The media will even blame people. And I think in the context that where Baldwin just expressed, I don't think it's fair to people who were not close to Harvey. Matt Damon, Brad Pitt, George Clooney, big actors, big names. Having a working relationship with somebody is not the same thing as having a close friendship with them. I think one of the most incredible aspects of all this is how many actors have actually come forward after stuff was revealed about Harvey, reaffirming the stories of a lot of the women who came forward in defense of them, saying,
We had one instance in a hotel room where he tried to coordinate a cut. And then I really kind of stood up to him. I told my boyfriend at the time,
Brad Pitt,
who,
by the way, I love him for this.
you told him,
Hey, Harvey
He's like a dad to you.
Yeah, I was shocked.
When you tell Brad says, fuck this guy, I'm gonna go up in front.
So what happened was, I told him right away, and I was very shaken by the whole thing. And I had 2 movies. I'd signed up to do 2 movies with him.
Were you afraid that the movies would be canceled? Or
I was afraid.
Yeah, sure, because this was a good thing.
And Brad hit. We were at the opening of Hamlet.
Match point. Blue team.
And Harvey was there, and Brad hit. It was like the equivalent of throwing him against the wall. You know, energetically. It was like.
Were you afraid though? Was it really? Great guy, Brad Pitt, for doing it. But at the same point too, it's your story. It's your relationship with Harvey. As most guys do, they take action.
Right.
When you come home and say, Harvey just did a weird thing to me, I'm going to do something. Yeah. Maybe you weren't even looking for them. Like he took it upon himself to confront Harvey.
It was so fantastic because what he did was he leveraged his fame and power to protect me at a time when I didn't have fame or power yet.
Right. Wow. It moves you.
Yeah. It was.
You need to be careful.
Yeah, he's a good
got a shield with your name on it.
Oh, you must have just, I guess part of me was like, who's Brad Pitt to take up your cause? And you should help him do that, but at the same point,
victory!
He was very heroic.
And Harvey was never inappropriate with me again.
Wow. I just like Brad Pitt sticking up for you.
He's the best.
I wonder what he said. Did he ever tell you what he said to Harvey?
Yeah, because he came back and told me exactly what he said.
Go! Fuck you. You ever lay a hand on my girlfriend, I'm gonna kill you.
He said, if you ever make her feel uncomfortable again, I'll kill you.
Choose your character.
That's awesome.
Harvey has some sort of instrumental influence of whether that's pre-approving scenes or maybe it being involved in a producer, what have you, or even another female actress who may have been involved in a project who heard maybe whispers or rumors or speculation. I just think that too many people try to blame other people for things. If I accept a job from a company, do I really know the CEO or my boss what he's doing? The answer's no. If you watched my video last week on Dan Schneider, the situation actually occurred where McCurdy offered $300,000 not to speak on creator Dan Schneider and her experiences at Nickelodeon. And I do think that the New York Post actually makes a fantastic point. Does it damage the cause of potentially exposing a destructive monster like Harvey Weinstein if you accept $100,000 not to talk about you being SA'd by someone? And I think it absolutely does. Because had that settlement not occurred, and while this was years and years and years ago, it begs the question, had this had more publicity, had the media known, and she being able to express herself on what happened with Harvey back then, what happened to Harvey being put behind bars and sentenced to 21 years in prison may have happened years prior. Because remember, the allegations started from the 1970s. And like for me personally, I understand the appeal of accepting money not to speak out. For me, if I was in that situation, I don't know how I could deal with the guilt and shame aspect of knowing that by not speaking out, I personally, this is just me, I would feel responsible for all these other people getting hurt because I chose not to speak on an issue and instead accept money. It raises the question, is accepting money to not speak on what could potentially save other people from being harmed in the future, is that a good choice or not? Is it worth the career sabotage of the publicity? Because we know that Harvey Weinstein made a lot of actresses' careers before they were practically nobodies. And by him walking in and saying, okay, I'll let you on this, we're gonna give you these lines, we're gonna give you this scene, he brought many women in the spotlight, and so many women were afraid that if they spoke out against their experience, you're fired, your career's gone. It's such a fascinating, difficult, controversial bubble to stand in the middle of. Because on one hand, I'm trying to see things from all perspectives, and it's really difficult to get an equal perspective without leaning more to one side than another. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments below.
Harvey tried to talk me into cutting the torture scene out. With Mr. Blonde and the guy in the chair. The ear cut off? Yeah. He tried to talk me out of it, and his reasoning was, I ended up being right. All right, his reasoning was, well, wait. This is a movie that anybody can watch. But with that torture scene, you're going to alienate women. They're not going to want to see this. So you're putting your own movie in a little box. And But without that scene, anybody can go and see this movie, and everybody will enjoy it. And that's kind of actually where I became me, because Harvey was used to winning these type of arguments. And
Match point. Red team.
But because I had actually been on the film festival circuit for an entire year, one, I saw that he was right, because people were always walking out during that scene. Sometimes that would be 5, sometimes it would be 35. All right, they were always walking out. Because also it's a film festival, you don't exactly know what you're seeing. You know, you read in the catalog, it sounds interesting. You know, it's not like it's not like you're being set up the way you are when a movie opens theatrically. Right. You know, so but I did know that that was the moment of truth for most people, that scene. But now I think it's the best scene in the fucking movie. So and I had spent a year watching it, so I was in Buffalo. And I go, well, it's that movie. It's what the movie is. And you may be right, but I don't care. This is the movie, and it has that scene. And Harvey realized he wasn't going to get his way, and he's used to getting his way. I stood fast, and there was like a beat of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're going to leave the scene in, and I want you to remember that it was Miramax who left it alone.
Wow. That's an interesting way to control the situation, right? Take it and bring it all back to him. How weird is it for you to have had a relationship with that guy for all these years, making all these films, and now see what he's become?
It's sad. It's sad. It was like, he wasn't just this guy who financed my movies. He was, kind of like a father figure. I mean, he was kind of a fucked up father figure, but that's most people's fucking father. Yeah. He was a fucked up father figure, but he was like, he was involved in, my professional life for like a long, long time. So it's like, I think it's sad.
Oh, it's definitely sad. It's surreal though, too, right? Yeah. Because we've never seen, other than Bill Cosby, we've never seen like a fall like this before. It's so strange.
Yeah, well, one of the things is funny. Like I did an interview with the 2 women that cracked the case on the New York Times. I did a talk with them during that time. I don't really talk about it that much afterwards because I go I with them and that's enough. But one of the things I ended up saying is, well, I wish I had done more during the time. And a lot of people read a lot of what that could possibly mean.
Right.
Well, actually, what it means is I wish I had talked to the guy. I wish I had sat him down and had the uncomfortable conversation. I didn't know about any rapes or anything like that. I just, but I knew he was, I chalked it up to the boss chasing the secretary around the desk, as if that's okay. But I mean, that's how I kind of looked at it. He was, making unwanted advances. That's how I looked at it. But I wish I had talked to him. I wish I had sat him down and go, Harvey, you can't do this. You're going to fuck up everything.
Do you think that no one talked to him and maybe that was how he got so completely out of control?
maybe his brother Bob, maybe, but I don't think anybody talked to him about it. And the thing about it is, everybody who was in his orbit knew about it. There's nobody who said they didn't know that didn't know. If you were in his orbit, and that includes all the big actors who he palled around with, like, they all knew. They didn't know anything about rapes, but they had heard.
Yeah.
They had heard things. They had heard about him just, putting the bite on somebody in a limo.
The story of the rich, powerful producer and the actress who wants to be in films is a story that's as old as film itself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just one of those stories that goes on. I mean, it was almost like, I don't really have a history in film, but from what it's been explained to me, that's always what it's been like.
Yeah, they gave me a tour of Shaw Brothers Studios. And I'm taking a tour of Shaw Brothers Studios, and they take me into the screening room. And I'm like, okay, well, you can see that chair in the back there? That was reserved for the owner of the studio, Run Shaw. That's where he sat. And in the back room is a little bed. And that's reserved for where Run Shaw took the starlets. Really? Yeah. And it was all
So for this next clip, I do want to say, trigger warning, this may make some people feel uncomfortable simply due to the nature of Melissa Thompson, somebody who managed to actually document the type of aggressiveness and inappropriate behavior that Harvey Weinstein exhibited. And one of the first things you're going to notice really, really quickly is how aggressively he starts touching her arm. It's the weirdest thing to see on camera, because this is just not a normal thing that most normal people do, especially when you meet somebody for the first time. And, like, I understand the hug thing, and then you see his hand going, like, on her ass cheek. It's just like, holy shit, dude. The fact that this was even documented the way that it was is just incredible to me. So kudos to Melissa for doing this, because this just offers a small snapshot. It's one thing to put people's actors and directors, testimonies, this guy was this way, but to actually see him exhibiting the behavior that people describe him doing.
And the 28-year-old is in the Weinstein Company offices in New York City. She's here to pitch her tech startup company's new video platform, and as part of the demo, she's recording the meeting.
All right, hello, Melissa. The draft. All right, hello, Melissa Thompson. Morning. That's nice. Good enough. Yeah.
Prepare yourself!
How's your day?
How's your day?
I was thinking, okay, he's hugging me, what do I do now? I was sensing I have to be a little bit more vigilant in this situation than I originally thought. Close. A little bit.
Okay, sorry, that's what I want. So,
no, it's okay. So, you're having me this many things, and you do so many things, so every time that he towed the line of being inappropriate enough where I may have said something, he could sense it, and he pulled back, and he changed the dynamic again.
The thing I want to show is radar. My movie. Like I have the barrel on the
So let's talk about barrel on the road. Who would be interested in that movie? Who would be interested?
Not me.
Okay, so good, we can do both. Okay, so would it be, what's target demographic? Okay, so we're gonna buy space, we're gonna buy ad space on Vogue.com. Do you think you might have encouraged him? I don't think I purposely encouraged him. At first I tried to, volley a little bit with him. If he would make a comment, I would try to catch it and return it in a way that felt a little safer than the way he threw it at me. We can have like it to win 2 theatrical passes to the premiere in New York, and they have to like it. So now you're generating all these likes.
Okay, if nobody needs your service, a barrel on row.
Good.
And then you can sign me up, tell your boss.
Put a trigger on using this platform, so then you put his hand up under the table of my dress. It was was trying to save face of it. At first I was trying to kind of manage the situation. It was a combination of confidence and naivety. Data's so hot, right?
What's that?
Data's so hot.
It is hot.
So another thing I was thinking is, Sarge, I don't know how much you were involved, but the Sarge's department, you started
Match point. Blue team. Back to next.
Like buy the look, where they wanted in the trailer, they wanted people to be able to buy her clothing, so they would partner with Outlook and whatever people wanted. I tried to work on Wall Street before I went to business school. I worked in an environment that was heavily regulated. I thought I could handle it. I had never met anyone that I couldn't handle until Harvey Weinstein.
Continue. Okay.
When you go to the kitchen, you adjust the angle of the computer. I did. Why? I knew that I was losing the ability to control the situation and keep it professional, so I had entered that fight or flight mode, and I was scared of him.
What was that? I'm gonna go ahead and move you, but I'll meet you somewhere. Meet you for a drink.
Time.
It's 3:34. And
What's the plan?
ready to trip like a grab.
Were you under the impression that that meeting was to close the deal, potentially? Yes. So it wasn't at 10 p.m. It wasn't an invitation to come to his hotel room. It was an invitation to a hotel lobby that was within blocks of the office. And so that to me felt much safer than being alone with him in his office. Melissa says Weinstein came to the hotel lobby and told her to follow him. She assumed they were going to a conference room, but it was Weinstein's hotel room. There, she says, he raped her. If I would fight, try to fight myself away from him, he would then move around to a place where he could block me in somewhere. He's a big individual, and I constantly felt trapped, no matter where I turned. Or he cornered me over and over again. Melissa's business meeting and the alleged rape are part of a class action lawsuit against Weinstein and others connected to him who might have known what was happening. Had people been more vocal and not said, yeah, that's Harvey, or yeah, we have to look at that. You don't. We don't have to live with things that are deceiving and abusive, and we don't have to live with being raped when we're going to a business meeting. In a statement, Harvey Weinstein's lawyer Benjamin Brafman said, several respected journalists and trustworthy individuals have seen the entire video. The video, when viewed in its entirety, in context and not in select excerpts, demonstrates that there is nothing forceful but casual, if not awkward flirting from both parties. Anything short of that is intended to make Mr. Weinstein appear inappropriate and even exploitative. It was produced by Ms. Thompson to bolster her position in a civil lawsuit seeking money.
Now, one of the most common patterns of behavior from Harvey himself is that almost every single claim and essay that has occurred is done and taken them to his hotel room over and over and over again. He always has a hotel room for it. Melissa made a point here about how, 5:30, that's usually dinner time. That's not 10 o'clock at night. Hey, come back to my hotel room. This is a pure sod of, we're going to close a business or ad deal with this individual. And this is how we brought in a lot of his victims. You're so rich, you have so much money, you can literally bring gigantic ad deals, make people's career just by landing a deal, and you would draw a position and use that to force an essay onto people. Absolute monster of a man. And what's even crazier about this video footage is I just can't imagine, first time you meet this person, you're sitting down, they're trying to proposition an ad deal for you, and then you just start touching their arm, right? Hell, I'm a little bit socially awkward at times. In my past, when I was on Tinder and I was doing hookups, even now I still do the same thing. I always ask people if I can hug them, just because I feel like trying to force a hug on somebody. Some people don't like being touched by strangers. Hell, even people that you are just getting to know, some people don't like to be hugged. I get it, I understand that. So I always ask, hey, can I give you a hug? Even back in the day when I would invite people over to my place, we'd hang out, have a smoke session. I'd say, hey, you want to sleep over? You can either sleep in my bed, or you can go sleep on the couch. I always try to make it a goal to make people have a really comfortable dynamic, because every person is different. I don't know how some people like to be touched, and you don't really need to ask. Some people like being touched, and therefore, if that's the type of person that they don't like being touched randomly, then you just ask, hey, can I give you a hug? Can I put my arm around you? I don't think there's any ever crime in somebody asking, hey, can I touch you? But it does make me laugh, though. I remember one incident, somebody I was dating in my past, they were like, can you just touch me? And I'm like, are you sure? Because the person prior before that didn't like being touched without me asking. Then I dated somebody new. And they're like, you don't need to ask to put your arm around me. We're dating, blah, blah, blah. Just do it. You're my partner. And, it's a different dynamic. Everybody's different. And the fact that he didn't even ask, not that him asking would have made the situation any more appropriate, because, again, this is a workplace environment. I think it's better than always just to be safe rather than sorry and potentially make somebody feel uncomfortable. Put them in a situation that was allowed them that they don't want to be in. That's just me, though. Clearly, this is not the case here. We have somebody who loves to be in a position of a higher up than somebody else, and they're using that to their advantage to proposition a deal of some sort, only to use that to essay them. A few months back, PBS did a phenomenal documentary on Harvey Weinstein that offers a lot more context and even more deep dive into him than this video itself. That's linked down below in the description. But what I've done here is I've taken multiple people that have come up against Harvey with claims of their situation that he put them in, and I've compiled these clips together so it's one after another, just so it's easier and condensed. But one of the things that you'll notice straight off the bat is not just the pattern of behavior of taking people to hotels, but every single person he does the same thing with. He brings them into a room and then just drops his clothes for whatever reason. It is very strange, and it's consistent with not just these women that you're about to see here, but a lot of other people too. Some of these women got out, others didn't.
Said that there was a role in Sarah Jessica Parker's new film, and then it very quickly shifted to asking to give him a naked massage in the bed. I was like, I'm married. And he said, I said, you are too, right? And he said, yes, but we have an arrangement. And I was like, you know what, Harvey? I'm about done with this conversation right now. So I left. I shut the door and I burst into tears.
I'm Seth MacFarlane, the host of the Oscars. Congratulations, you 5 ladies no longer have to pretend to be attracted to Harvey Weinstein.
And then I was like, good, I'm glad he just did that. Because at that point, nobody was saying anything publicly. I feel like everybody kind of knew about Harvey, but nobody was saying anything publicly. Then he said, there's a screening this afternoon in one of our meetings. You should come, I'll have my car come pick you up. Once I got there, I realized it wasn't a special screening with cast and crew. It was just a movie. I want to leave. He's responsible.
Blue team.
We ended up stopping at his house.
Purdue University Global. Apply now at purdueglobal.edu.
And then I ended up going out probably against my better judgment. And he went to the other room and he came back with a robe on. And the robe was just like an open robe. I didn't even look to see. And I was just so stunned. There was no suave moves or anything. There was just a really weird, awkward, will you give me a massage? I had to say just no. And I'm not comfortable. He left the room and he came back and he was just fully naked. I thought, he's coming after me. I told him, because I was furious, I said, I can't believe you're doing this to me. And I was able to find a way home.
He was standing there and he had a hand towel around his waist. I handed him the folder and he dropped the hand towel. And All the while, he's asking me questions about checks. And he, at some point, sat down on the bed, and he plopped the folder on his lap. And then he started saying, what about this one? And he's pointing. And I'm not going to look down. So I say, which one is that, Harvey? Then he said, I have a crick in my shoulder. He said, could you give me a massage? Could you rub it out for me? And at that point, I looked at him and I said, Harvey, I don't think that's in my job description.
And that's when he lured me in there to give him a massage. And I agreed, being a 23-year-old, naive, trusting young woman. He said, I'm going to the lavatory. And I said, okay. And then he came out,
yourself!
And he was naked with a towel. And it was a little shocking. And I just said, I'm sorry, this isn't what I signed on for. And I left the room immediately.
We were taken into the Majestic Hotel to have dinner. And that was where I was sat next to her. My friends were never coming. That was a blatant lie. So we get to the hotel room, and I remember sobering up, and then Harvey walked back in, he was naked. So he's negotiating a massage. I want a massage, give me a massage, give me a massage. Just, let me give you a massage, blah, blah, blah. And he's rapid fire, and he takes control of the situation. I very unwillingly let him maneuver me into his bedroom and sat on the bed, and he started to massage my shoulders. And within seconds, I knew that that was just not going to fly. There was no way this was happening. And I got up and I bolted into the bathroom. And he chased me. But I remember locking the door and him being on the other side of it and banging. I screamed at him, put your clothes on, you naughty boy. And I meant it. And it worked.
Match point. Blue team.
He came out of the bathroom and he was apologizing. And he started to cry.
Victory!
He said something that I have never forgotten, and I never will for the rest of my days. In between his tears, you don't like me because I'm fat. I really felt sorry for him in that moment. At that point, I had no idea, obviously, how dangerous he really was.
What gets him to that stage? It's very... I don't know if that's manipulative. I don't know if that's him being genuinely having a mental breakdown because he is insecure about his weight or his size, or maybe he feels ugly. Regardless, it doesn't matter if he does or doesn't. Breaks down saying, you don't like me because I'm fat. There may be deeper, far greater issues internally that this man is fighting with his inner demons, and part of this reason he does this criminal behavior is due to the fact that he thinks that by forcing people to interact with him and see him in this way, that somehow, some way, maybe he can be liked and accepted, which at the end of the day is just sick and twisted, that you can use your lack of confidence and insecurity of yourself to hurt other people and put them in a situation that makes them feel that uncomfortable and commit crimes against them. Was this breakdown of him sobbing, was it genuine? Was it real? I don't know. Chronic narcissists like Harvey Weinstein sometimes can change their mannerisms on a heartbeat just like that in order to further gain trust or vulnerability with that person that they're trying to hurt by making them feel bad for him. And clearly she even felt bad for him despite what he was trying to do. That just goes to show the manipulation tactic and power that this guy had. I wish I could figure out if that breakdown was real or genuine versus him using that to try to make her stay. I don't know. But this next clip that you're about to see is where things really kind of just fired off.
The story that she told is that shortly after she came in, Harvey Weinstein inquired about whether her breasts were real or not. He groped her breasts, he reached up her skirt, and he tried to kiss her. It degenerates from her coming up there to discuss her career to her fighting this guy off in his office.
What do we have to do here?
Nothing. I'm going to take a shower. You sit there and have a drink.
I'm sorry, I don't know. No, yesterday was kind of aggressive for me. I need to know a person to be touched.
I won't do a thing.
I don't.
Everything, please. I swear I won't. Just sit with me.
I'm feeling very comfortable right now.
Please come in now. When the guy comes with my jacket.
Yesterday you touched my breast.
Please, I'm sorry. Just come on. I'm used to that.
Are you used to that?
Yes, come in.
No, but I'm not excuse for that.
Go through the gap.
What should the future deliver? Progress. Innovation.
Prepare yourself!
You have to do another thing to 5 minutes. Don't ruin your friendship with me for 5 minutes. Please.
But I want to leave.
Thank you.
Don't ruin your friendship with me for 5 minutes. This is a key point here. So after she went to the police, they said, holy shit, this could be incriminating. We need you to go back there and have a recording device on you. And Harvey admits it. He SA'd this person. He inappropriately touched them without their consent. And even in this dialogue, this is the most fascinating thing is having this recording. You can see how he actually tries to grab and pull somebody in. The crazy thing in this dialogue is how desperate he sounds. Just desperate for attention, desperate for a human connection that he craves so deeply that he's willing to force people into an uncomfortable situation and commit crimes against them just to get that sort of validation or sick, twisted fantasy that he has off. The moment he said, I'm feeling uncomfortable, he should have stepped back and said, okay, you're free to go. I'm sorry for making you feel uncomfortable, or whatever. But that didn't happen. He just continues on. Don't destroy your 5-minute friendship. When this audio recording went public, that's when the Me Too movement really shot up. This was the first woman to go to the police rather than hinder in silence and be afraid. And it started something. It started the destruction of Harvey Weinstein's career, which honestly should have happened long before that. But where things get even worse is that Harvey Weinstein, after this was exposed publicly, hired a private corporation security firm that specializes in deep digging on people who he gives a name to. Whenever Gutierrez came forward with her allegation, a machine mobilized to shut down these charges. And that included Harvey Weinstein hiring power lawyers. He had one of the most powerful PR teams in the country.
Weinstein also employed the services of K2, a private intelligence firm usually specializing in corporate investigations and security. No one from K2 would agree to an interview, but a former employee who was there at the time says Weinstein's request was unusual.
Blue team!
We agreed to hide his identity as he still works in the industry.
Harvey Weinstein came to give us
Match point! Red team!
would take on if it was somebody else. Nobody likes to develop information on somebody who's accused a client of sexual misconduct. Harvey Weinstein. Exceptions
Victory!
He says K2 is tasked with investigating Gutierrez's past in Italy and providing the information to Weinstein.
Stuff started leaking out of the Weinstein camp about her past. She once filed a sexual assault suit against a 70-year-old, quote, sugar daddy. There was a report that she had been sleeping with a 70-year-old man in return for gifts from this guy.
It lasted for like a week. Every day something different coming out. Everything was about me being a blackmailer, a prostitute. I was asking them like, did you hear the recording? They were like, yes, I heard it, but you have to explain this situation in Italy. It's very confusing. I was like, guys, I mean, I'm the victim.
Concerned how her story would play before a jury, the district attorney's office announced Weinstein would not be prosecuted. Manhattan District Attorney Cyrus Vance Jr. declined to be interviewed. His office told Frontline they acted professionally, and that what emerged from the audio and subsequent investigation was insufficient to prove a crime under New York law.
When people say that Harvey Weinstein silenced anyone, men and women, there is no exaggeration in that statement. This is pure and factual. He's willing to threaten other people, even people he's donated charities to, because they're about to sever ties with him due to all the allegations that were coming forward in the public audio and all this stuff just piling on top of each other.
Over the years, Weinstein had helped raise millions for AMFAR, the Foundation for AIDS Research. But the AMFAR board had become concerned. The problem was not sexual misconduct, but a dispute over the proceeds of a charity auction. The charity hired lawyer Tommy Kelly
investigation. We had to interview people. We would say to them, why did it go here? Why did it go there? The response we would get would be, well, before we get into that, do you know that Harvey Weinstein rapes women? Do you know that Harvey Weinstein is a sexual predator? Now, we had no proof of that, but this is what we were hearing. And it was very disturbing. He said to me, Tom, you're spreading rumors about me raping women. And my response was, Harvey, I'm not saying that. The community is saying that about you. And at some point he got very angry and said, you better be careful, Tom, because I've investigated you and you're not so clean, so be careful.
He's doing damage control, trying to silence and giving any piece of dirt on men and women to use against them publicly as a form of blackmail. What's so crazy to me is that the legal offices failed to prosecute Harvey Weinstein when this first woman came forward to the police due to the fact that Harvey did this and got stuff from her past, like, oh, look at this, you accused a 70-year-old man of doing something inappropriate with you, or he bought you gifts, therefore that invalidates what you experienced with Harvey Weinstein, which is just honestly a slap in the face to people trying to come forward about this powerhouse monster. When you have this socioeconomic influencer, Harvey at the time, who literally was involved politically, financing political figures, he's so powerful. What the fuck are you supposed to do? How do you fight someone that large? I've never seen blackmail in this form of power before, and it's absolutely terrifying. Harvey Weinstein is a serial rapist, and when he dies in prison, I hope it's from dropping the bar of soap. If there's two types of people who, when they're sentenced for the crime that they've committed, it's crimes against children and that of SA in any capacity towards men or women. People like that in prison deserve to experience the absolute worst, and you will not hear a drop of sympathy or empathy for me. They can rot, they can die, and I will rejoice when their name is in the news that they've passed away. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this video. This has been the Harvey Weinstein Files. Expand that description box. There are videos and links and sources linked down below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, hit the subscription button because over 40% of you are not subscribed, but you're watching my videos. And if you'd really like to help me, please go over to my gaming channel where I actually stream 2 to 3 times a week called Repsy Games. I post short-form content, do live call-ins, play video games, and just have fun. To be the second or third link down below in the description. My Discord's linked down below. All my socials are there. Click it, follow them, and I'll see you guys next time for another video. Have an absolute good, fantastic, wonderful weekend.
Prepare yourself!
Let's end this. Black Adam, we need BT.
Nerdrotic.com.
Apparently, according to Amazon, the over 566,000 of you out there, thank you very much, are patently evil, all for pointing out some pretty valid criticisms. The focus on the original characters that reflect the world of today and the diminishment of Tolkien's characters. The confusing timeline, the abject perversion of the lore, and giving us an origin of Mithril, Mount Doom, and Mordor. And it's just boring and dumb. And for pointing out these objective truths, you're not only patently evil, according to the Hollywood Reporter, we're fascist adjacent and racist and misogynist, because Guy Ladriel's totally not acting like a dude or sitting like one.
My balls! Oh, my balls sticking to my legs.
I would argue that Tolkien would think Amazon is patently evil. I mean, we know what Tolkien thought of Disney, and of course it's our fault that the Rings of Power is a giant billion-dollar disaster. And that's all part of Amazon hitting the panic button, and they're in full damage control. A little late for that. We've been assaulted with Access Media articles trying to rationalize this show. By the way, they are listening to us. Your voice does matter. Thanks for watching, Amazon. Again, this is all meant to silence our criticism. So without further ado, let's get to the criticism. in this case, literally bury one of the potential leads. Celeborn is dead. Fort Black Garrett, please cue Razor Fist.
I was right! I was right! I was right!
Of course, he can't be dead, and this is one of the many idiotic mysteries in this mystery box show. If Celeborn is dead, there will be no Celebrian, Galadriel, and Celeborn's daughter. That means there wouldn't be any Arwen, their granddaughter. Bottom line, again, they didn't want to have Celeborn with Galadriel, which would rob her of her agency. It wasn't a creative decision, it was an intersectional one, a political one. Celeborn, at least for now, was sacrificed on the altar of agenda. As I say a lot with this show, don't worry, it gets worse. We've already gotten our origin of Mithril and Mount Doom. This episode, we get Mordor. And I had to put this up because I just like this meme. Okay, so I did like the very ending of last week's episode, and if that was the series finale, I would have been completely okay with it. So let's enjoy this one more time. Unfortunately, Galadriel survives, looking like she's covered in Cheetos. Nerd Cookies is right. The Cheeto is but a passing thing. For the vast majority of you who didn't watch this episode, nothing happens. Sure, there's a lot of wandering around with contradictory dialogue and exposition, looking for dead people we know are alive, deciding whether to dig for Mithril or not, again, ending with the single most low-effort twist in history. And it's just boring, and I have to remind you that this is the penultimate episode of the most expensive television show in history. Galadriel lives, but in typical Galadriel fashion, she completely ignores a burning horse, people screaming for their lives, and a baby screaming until she runs into Thea, a character she has no connection with. Admittedly, it's only slightly more than all the people she just ignored, who were dying screaming. Then it turns into Mordor 911, where Isildur, the man who cuts the ring from Sauron's hand, the great warrior, future king, needs Queen Regent Muriel's help to lift a roof off of his friend. The same Muriel who was described by Tolkien as fairer than silver or ivory or pearls. Then Isildur and Queen Regent Muriel go and save some children. She is blinded by some ashes and the house collapses on Isildur. Gee, I wonder if the guy who cuts the ring from the hand of Sauron is dead. Unfortunately, the Harfoots are back and they make it to their destination and they find that a few trees are burned. So of course they can vote because they're assholes and idiots like the writers of the show. I guess that volcano in the Southlands that we're not supposed to say is Mordor at this point has a pretty good range. Once again, we're deciding whether or not we should dig for Mithril. King Durin says no after Elrond basically pleads for his life and sells out the elves.
For I have no common, but Elrond hath them, and I see in elves that which they cannot see in themselves.
So all the elves are going to die, and Durin III is completely okay with this. He just says it's the will of wiser minds who know more than they do. Elrond is sad, Durin IV is sad, Disa is mad. They say their goodbyes, then Durin throws the Mithril next to the cancer leaf, and it cures it. So after being told not to dig for Mithril again, they decide to dig for Mithril again. Compelling stuff. By the way, in the lore, this should not be Elrond. This should be Celebrimbor. 22 minutes into the penultimate episode of the first season of the most expensive television show of all time, and they finally tell us something of note. Everyone in the Southlands is wandering to a Númenórean camp. Oh, and Elendil thinks Isildur is dead, the guy who's going to cut the ring from the hand of Sauron. This is almost as dumb as centering your whole entire first season of the most expensive television show of all time around the mystery of who is Sauron. It's Halbrand, and it never should have been Halbrand. Then there's some cringe contradictory dialogue.
Everyone
cannot be known nor is the light. Fill it not with guesswork.
That is precisely what Galadriel has been doing for centuries with Sauron, who's Halbrand. Then Theo asks Galadriel this.
When I was your age, there was no such thing as orcs.
How many have you killed?
Many.
Good.
I would not use such words. It darkens the heart. To call dark deeds good.
That's big. Match point. Blue team.
the most audacious...
That's rich.
Except didn't Galadriel in the previous episode just threaten to torture and kill all of Adar's orc children right before she kills him? So Elendil figures out that Muriel is blind.
How much further until we're clear of this smoke? How long have we been clear of it?
Nearly a mile.
I see.
This reminds me of a scene from She-Hulk this week.
I think you're in a unique position to do some real good. See the way I see it.
Listen, I have to mix some entertainment into this review. Nothing happens this episode. Back to the Harfoots, Totally Not Gandalf tries to heal a tree in what will totally not look like the Shire when he's done. While Totally Not Gandalf is doing that, a branch breaks off and female Frodo decides to push her little sister towards the tree. So of course the little ass will banish him again, and it leads to probably the most satisfying scene in the entire series. I love that they spent 2 minutes of screen time having female Frodo very slowly hand not Gandalf an apple. And this discourages little female Frodo, and she decides she won't be subverting Harfoot traditions after all. Nope. This brings us to the scene, and I find it very hard to believe that Galadriel, the warrior of the wasteland, commander of the northern armies, and scourge of the orcs, on her mission of vengeance, failed to mention her husband for 7 episodes. Have you seen this one? Feels like this one was tacked on and reshot.
Be a little somewhere close.
My brother, Finrod, and my husband.
As we've been saying for months, Celeborn is dead for now. Again, this is just stupid mystery box for the very same reasons I mentioned earlier. The same reason Isildur possibly being dead is stupid. The same reason centering your entire first season of the most expensive show of all time around who is Sauron is stupid. As the showrunners, and yes, it's also stupid that they haven't been fired. Remember when I mentioned it gets worse?
When you went to it, I tried it in. His armor didn't fit properly. Got to visit the clan. I never saw him again after that.
Galadriel, who did not take part in the major wars of the first age or the second, clowns Celeborn, who did, about his armor not fitting right. Amazon and the intersectionalists running this show aren't just happy demoralizing and diminishing Tolkien's characters who are alive in the show, they're diminishing dead ones. This is followed by some more repurposed dialogue.
There are powers beyond darkness.
Red team. Match point.
And a repurposed scene. Theo and Galadriel hiding from the orcs is totally not supposed to remind us of the hobbits hiding from the Nazgûl, and we're only halfway through the episode. I guess the good news is less happens in the second half. So let's recap Dookie Elrond and Durin. They decided to dig for Mithril, got shut down by King Durin III. Then they decided to ask King Durin III if they could dig for Mithril again. He said no, so they decided to dig for Mithril again and got shut down by King Durin III. Dookie Elrond gets banished, and Durin gets ripped of his succession. I'm guessing at some point later in the episode, somebody's going to talk Durin into digging for Mithril again. Here's my favorite scene from the show, and it's not anything the writers did intentionally. The Harfoots wake up in essentially the Shire. Turns out Totally Not Gandalf healed the place. While they were out foraging, they ran across Chicka Chicka Slim Lady, or Feminem, and her girlfriends. Who are these people? No idea. Do they speak a line of dialogue? No. I'm going to tell you something the show hasn't for 7 episodes. It's an all-female Sauron cult. Female Frodo tries to distract the all-female Sauron cult so they won't go after not Gandalf. And when Hobo Baggins puts a torch in their face, Chicka Chicka Slim Lady burns their village. Little shits had it coming. The only reason I'm even mentioning this scene is because it's repurposed from the Two Towers. Elendil lets Isildur's horse go, which I'm guessing will probably be just like in the Two Towers when Aragorn lets Brago go, Theodred's horse, and he comes back and rescues him later. 53 minutes into the penultimate episode of Season 1, we finally find out that Bronwyn isn't dead. I know, I was disappointed too. We also find out that Halbrand is mortally wounded. Oh, I do have to point out, we get a good shot of Galadriel in the sunlight, and she doesn't have a scratch on her body. Not a single golden hair is singed. Where was I? Oh, Halbrand is mortally wounded. He's on death's door. This is it for him. He doesn't stand a chance, so he stands up, walks casually to a horse, mounts the horse on his own, sits up straight, and he's gonna ride a fortnight to get some elvish medicine. The Hardfoots, including female Frodo, female Sam, and Hobo Baggins, are off to save Totally Not Gandalf from the female Sauron Sims. Not sure how that's gonna happen because Feminem is a day ahead of them. Despite their still being missing, dead, and wounded, the Númenóreans are freaking off. And while our two girl bosses, one of them being blind, are stoically saying goodbye to each other, Elendil the Tall, the mighty warrior, cries on this show. And this may come as a surprise to you when the final Durin scene is he's talked back into digging for Mithril again by Disa, who starts making all kinds of crazy statements.
One day this will be your kingdom. No some other dwarf lords. Yours. And mine.
Better go more.
And together we will rule this mountain and all others before our time is done.
What do you mean, our kingdom? What do you mean, rule together? Before anybody thinks they're setting her up to be some sort of ruse? No way in hell they do this with
the first female dwarf.
Oh yeah, and we did get to see the Balrog. Don't get excited, he won't be back till next season in 2025.
Gotta be.
Victory! Then we get the final scene with Adar and his very white orcs in their new homeland where evil can thrive. I'm sure we can all speculate where it is, but just in case you missed it, this is it, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for. In the penultimate episode, at the very end of the first season of the most expensive show ever made, their big reveal of Mordor is a font change. Wait till you see them. No. That has to go down as the dumbest, low-effort, unsurprising reveal in television history. So it is absolutely no surprise that there has been an Access Media assault on the fans and our senses because Amazon absolutely knew this was a giant piece of garbage. Multiple articles in the last 72 hours, including 2 from The Hollywood Reporter, a fluff piece on Amazon studio head Jennifer Salke, where she states that over 100 million people have watched this series without providing any evidence. It's total bullshit. But to tell you how unimpressive that actually is, this channel has over 100 million views, and I will count each of those views as an individual human being, just like Jennifer Salke. I mean, we can compare the Rings of Power's 100 million views, it's not people, to something like Mr. Beast here on YouTube that has over 17 billion. Still, I'm not really sure how that's possible since we did get the latest Nielsen's and Rings of Power dropped. After its 3rd episode, it drops to number 4 on the Nielsen's, the most expensive show of all time. And that's probably why we got more damage control from the Hollywood Reporter. The Rings of Power writers react to 5 fan criticisms of their show. I mean, aside from calling us patently evil, 3 of the 5 questions are fluffy and about aesthetics, and they're answered the same way this one is. Galadriel acts too masculine, and she never went to Númenor. Pain. I would love to see in Tolkien where it says Galadriel never went to Númenor. That doesn't exist. Well, if we're going to go with that logic, you're right. Tolkien never specifically stated that Galadriel didn't have a 9-inch Johnson. We're not talking about any lore here. We're talking about Tolkien, who was meticulous and specific. And if he meant for Galadriel to go to Númenor, she would have gone to Númenor. So actually, it's on you, the showrunners of this monstrosity. Second, one of her nicknames is Nerwin, which means Mad Maiden. Well, I guess that settles it. She's a dude. And third, she does not act masculine. Really, when she would compete and do all sorts of sparring with other elves, she would braid her hair and put it on the top of her head to stay out of her way. So in the etymology is the idea that Galadriel was a warrior. No, in your rationalization, there are plenty of things that she actually did in the lore that you could have adapted but chose not to in the name of intersectional feminism. The show's pacing has been too slow. Payne gives a long-winded answer and tries to invoke Tolkien. Tolkien will take his time and let you sink into characters to a journey, and journeys can be hard in Tolkien. People will have the patience to settle in for a Tolkien epic. Here's the problem. This isn't a Tolkien epic. It isn't Tolkien at all. It's J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay, two bad reboot disciple hacks. That said, in the Hollywood Reporter's The Rings of Power cover story, the duo conceded that some scenes in the season weren't as urgent as they could have been. You can see the cracks even in the Access Media armor. Forbes and Polygon have turned on this show, and their latest trailer for the season finale is already ratioed. And we're just about to the end of the first season of the biggest flop of all time, and I can't say we didn't warn you. If you like what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like what you heard, thank you for listening this long. I will see you in the next video.
Ergorotic.com.
Cast him into the fire!
Choose your character.
Destroy it!
Alright, that's going to be the stream for now. We got back up to almost 500 coins, so that's pretty nifty. I might do Dying Light at some point tomorrow, and we might even be able to do a 4-hour stream at some point, so be on the lookout for that. Aside from that, you guys have a wonderful night, and I'll see you tomorrow.